Welcome to the Geekly Gab and Nerdical Nonsense Show. Now, here's your hosts, Alan and Shane.
Alright, listen up, you primitive screwheads.
Alright, welcome again. This is podcast number 2 for our so-called Fellowship of the Nerds, as we're going to call it for right now, since we have an unknown title that we have not worked out. Hopefully by the time this is presented to you, we will have a name and possibly a logo that you guys can sport all over your fuckbook or your Twitter page, whatever you guys want to do.
Your Instagrams.
Your Instagrams or my good Instagrams.
Dude, wouldn't it be great if every time you did an Instagram, a gram showed up?
Holy shit, instantly a gram appeared. It was super effective. Smoke screen. To be a Pokemon. Right. Well, anyways, we're here, and once, as you guys always know, we like to tell spoilers and certain things. You're not gonna see that from us today because basically we're talking about a movie that hasn't come out yet. We're talking about Batman versus Superman: The Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, only gonna get a lot of speculation.
Yeah, basically predictions, just discussions, nerd shit about this.
Not speculums, speculation.
We hope that you enjoyed us, we hope that you enjoyed joining us for the Star Wars podcast we did last time. That was our episode 1, talking about The Force Awakens and other such nonsensical things.
Man, episode 1.
Things that piss off Al, like Jar Jar Binks.
We talked about all episodes
Fuck you, man.
that last podcast.
But no,
it was fun. But we're back. We're here to talk some nerd with the comic book shit. DC Comics, to be exact. Dawn of Justice. I want to know, like, so far with all the trailers that have come out. How do you guys feeling it so far? Is it looking to be pretty amazing?
I don't know. You know, to be fair, I don't like Superman. I don't like Superman at all. And the only time I've ever enjoyed a Superman movie was Man of Steel. So Henry Cavill's pretty good at Superman.
Yeah, I agree. He's done a really good job for the role, honestly.
Is it still Zack Snyder doing?
Yep, Zack Snyder. Yep,
it is Zack Snyder.
So I mean, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's
rather dark too, which is pretty crazy for a Superman film.
It's going to be
It's got
epic
Batman in it.
because it's.
Well, even the first one, even without Batman, it was quite dark.
I called the second trailer before it came out because I said it's gonna be Lex Luthor pitting them against each other, and then he's gonna use Zod's body to do something, and it seems that it creates Doomsday. Whether it's his body that gets turned into Doomsday, or they use his body to do. It doesn't matter. We'll get to that later. But still, I called it, and it looks amazing. It really does. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I really am. Seeing all the characters that they're gonna fit in it. The only thing I can say though is I'm a tad scared, tad worried.
About?
It becoming Spider-Man 3. Basically, and just throwing everything at once. If they do it right, it's possible. If they can do it right, it'll be cool. But basically, I just reference back to Spider-Man 3. There's just way too many villains, way too many shits going on, and it was just that crazy emo Peter Parker scene. At
least you don't have to worry about Topher Grace as Venom.
Right? What if we don't have to look forward to that.
What if they do a draw point?
What if he's the Flash, though?
What if it's a surprise within what we're already supposed to be surprised with? Doomsday. What if there's something even worse than that's there?
What? Darkseid?
No, but what if there is something worse? Who says it's Darkseid? It could be. But what if there's something beyond that has to bring all of the Justice League together for this? Why the Dawn of Justice?
What is there that's not Darkseid? What's above Darkseid?
Well, this is the thing. I kind of hope that's the case, just given the fact that this latest trailer where they show you Wonder Woman, they show you Doomsday, they show you
half of the movie.
All right, well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like my prediction, like I'll put it on here right now. Like my prediction from what they've shown us so far, they basically shown you the entire movie. It's like, hey, there's these guys. There's a vigilante Batman going on. Superman doesn't really like that too well. Neither does the government. They talk to Superman. They have an interaction. It gets to a point to an all-out brawl, and it's all pitted by Lex Luthor, who's probably supplying Batman with kryptonite to make everything even. Once they start battling, they realize, oh, we're not bad guys. They join up together. Then he's like, okay, if you won't kill him, I'm gonna make this monster. Doomsday comes out. Oh snap! There's another player. And they start battling. Oh snap! Here comes Wonder Woman. Starts fighting. Like it shows you throughout this whole trailer the progression of the movie, and it's one thing that I was like, what the hell about?
But see, I don't really believe that.
It could be misleading for a purpose. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Hollywood's been really good at doing that lately.
Yeah, you saw in Star Wars, Finn wasn't even the Jedi.
From what I hear,
that's I really appreciate that, the way they did that. It was fine.
From what I've been seeing and stuff, and something that's come to light, that there was supposedly a secret screening of said movie a couple days ago. It's not completely credible, but at the same time, a lot of it seems extremely legitimate. But it's supposedly 2 hours and 45 minutes long, and the trailer is literally only like 3:47. So to show everything, I'm not quite sure. I think that there's a lot.
There's got to be some type of other. So maybe what they're showing. So you're saying like maybe what they're showing us is like the sub storyline.
Yeah.
And the main one still, the whole plot of the main storyline still to be revealed.
Yeah.
Because they got to tie in Suicide Squad, like you were saying before we started our cast here.
They do.
You know, they got to find a way to do that, which they have a little bit with the Jason. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's Jason Todd. Maybe it's not. The Robin suit that's painted up Joker style. Like
I'm almost positive that it's Jason Todd.
Yeah, that's basically what the entire internet has been saying. That's definitely Jason Todd, because in the comics he is the one to die by Joker's hand. I mean,
that actually makes me excited, because from what I'm gathering is that the Joker is going to kill Jason Todd. There might be like a backflash to it when Batman sees the suit. And it might be just like the side of the Joker. You'll see his glove, and you'll see the famous crowbar. And you'll see Jason being beaten. And then I'm pretty sure, since what it shows is Wayne Manor, it may be like the old one, and maybe the one he's living in now, and he just didn't fix up the outside. I can't tell, but it shows a burned Wayne Manor in the trailer. And this really makes me think that maybe the Joker infiltrated Wayne, the Batcave, and found Jason Todd Robin and killed him there and destroyed that. And this sets up Suicide Squad, because Batman would put the Joker in Arkham. And from what I hear, Suicide Squad is after Batman, or before Batman Superman. So that really sets up for the Joker might even be part of Batman Superman.
So it's brought to my attention that we didn't even introduce ourselves, which brings us to our triple S rule. We smoke, we swear, and we're so sorry that we're not sorry.
Very true.
All the smoking has made us so dumb. We just wanted to kick into this podcast because we're so fucking geeked about this damn movie coming out.
We're hyped.
So finally, with the Avengers and the MCU, which I'm not gonna get into that at all. That's this is a DC discussion. But just with the growth of that so far and how fast and rapid that's been, this is getting the ball rolling for DC's end to see them pull some really good movies out of their ass and bring it to fruition. So
we're gonna do a whole Deadpool episode, right?
We're definitely gonna have to do a Deadpool episode. Merc with a mouth is the shit. But we'll start it with a hello everyone. I am Shane.
I am Alan.
And I'm Randy.
And we're here to do this Fellowship of the Nerdcast, or whatever you guys want to call it. We have no name yet, but we're working on that shit. Basically, I want to talk about right now some really wacky theories that came out on the internet. And from what I understand, they've both been debunked so far. But I think it'd be funny to just talk about for a second. The first one being that a lot of people thought that the Jared Leto Joker was Jason Todd instead of the original Joker. And I think that's kind of funny. For a while it kind of had me thinking like with the Robin suit and it was spray painted, blah blah blah, ha 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 all over it. It's like it kind of had me thinking for a while like it very well could be the Jason Todd Joker. That'd be really interesting.
It would. But it would piss off a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
And from what I'm getting from it, since Suicide Squad is before Batman, Superman, it could be that it's something that haunts Bruce, and we might see that. Just like the nightmare sequence is what it's being referred to. The wordless trailer where Superman and his guard have Batman hostage.
You also see in that scene, that nightmare scene, to tell that it's a nightmare scene, basically, you see these winged creatures flying all around, and a lot of people are speculating that that's Darkseid's. Yeah, it's Darkseid's winged creatures that he uses. So, and basically, they also, I believe, I'm not sure if it was Comic-Con, but they released a certain figurine somewhere of what they were referring to as the Nightmare Batman for 2016, and it's from the Batman Dawn of Justice collection. Yeah. So basically all that's leading up to this crazy scene where Superman unmasks Batman really quick, and I'm assuming he's going to have the nightmare where Superman's going to finish him off or something like that, because it looks really dark and epic. And it's almost like a post-apocalyptic vision of some sort.
Like Mad Max with Star Wars, for real. Because he's got like the Ray goggles on, but it's like more Mad Max-ish because it's like people are fighting to survive.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, I think the Jason Todd thing, it would be interesting because a lot of people weren't really happy how Jared Leto Joker looks. So to make it a different Joker would kind of ease those people who are angry's pain. But at the same time, I'm very interested to see. I mean, the proof is basically that they show in Suicide Squad scenes of Harley Quinn when she's Dr. Quinzel. Yes. And Jason Todd Joker is not going to be that one that brings her over to the edge and become Harley Quinn. That's going to be the legitimate Joker. So that's basically the argument that has been debunked, kind of set in stone to debunk. Another thing that's been speculated is that Ben Affleck is not really Bruce Wayne. That he is in fact Slade Wilson, also known as Deathstroke.
This is impossible.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying this we're just kind of talking about these two that were debunked, the Jason Todd Joker, and for a while a lot of people speculated that Deathstroke was Batman for a minute, and that they were going to actually legitimately bring the Christian Bale Batman back.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's actually been confirmed that they offered Christian Bale money to come back for this project. He turned it down.
He didn't want to be Batman.
But basically, they were trying to make it sound like that the guy playing Alfred isn't actually playing Alfred. He's playing Wintergreen, who is Slade Wilson's butler. Oh. And that the girl that they save at the beginning of the trailer is actually Slade Wilson's daughter. So that's the theory. It's already been proven because basically in the newer trailer, the guy's like, "Oh, Bruce Wayne," but there are a lot of people were saying that he was taking on Bruce Wayne's name after Batman dies. And that's another reason why Batman v Superman, V would be standing for 5, as in the 5th movie in the installment. 1, 2, 3 of the Batman films. Man of Steel would be 4. Batman v Superman would be the 5th installment of the universe. So basically, they were trying to connect the Chris Nolan and Zack Snyder universe. It would be quite a twist, but I don't think it's. The way, exactly. It might have been a Shyamalan moment, and I don't think that was going to work out very well. But it would have explained Jason Todd Joker at the same time because the Heath Ledger Joker's already gone. You know what I mean? So I can. It would have been cool. It would have been cool, but I really think that the way they're taking it now, it's going to be really sweet. And they're making it its own thing. They don't want to include other shit.
Well,
I agree with that.
as for the look on the Joker, if the Joker has killed Jason Todd, he's been the Joker for quite a while.
Yep.
And you only have your teeth to be... They can't be knocked out multiple times. Batman's at least had to have knocked most of his teeth out. So the metal grill totally makes sense to me. The tattoos, a little overboard, but it's newer, it's darker, it's totally Jared Leto. I don't even care. He's taking it his own way. Heath Ledger did. I personally like it. It kind of looks like an Arkham Asylum brought to life. It really does from the games.
I agree. I think they're trying to make it its own universe's Joker basically, and it's really, they try to really differentiate from any other version of the Joker. Personally, I mean, I like the Cesar Romero Joker. I mean,
yes.
I mean that yeah, exactly, man. And especially when you look at the figurines that they make still for it, you can still see the mustache under the face paint. That's my favorite. I love the attention to detail with that. Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's so many versions of the Joker. They wanted to go some other way with it to make it its own thing, and I really think they did that. Like, I think it's the same with the Deadshot costume that they use. But I mean, that's a Suicide Squad topic that we'll get to probably in another podcast, I'm sure.
Yes, and it will mention it. And what I'm thinking about it is that maybe Amanda Waller is going to try and talk to Lex Luthor at some point in this movie. Maybe she's trying to get funding to start it, or maybe she's trying to tell him what happened.
The chick that they have playing Amanda Waller, like, she looks like she's going to be really good for the role. Like, we've seen a few Amanda Wallers. I mean, with Arrow, Amanda Waller. She's not bad in my opinion. The Amanda Waller in Smallville I thought was terrible.
Yeah.
I watched Smallville. I will admit I wasn't that thrilled with it.
No.
But I accepted the fact that it wasn't a real Superman storyline. It was basically its own thing, just as they're basically doing with the Arrow and Flash series now. But at least they're more interesting.
They are. They're mixing it up. They're crossing.
I apologize
over
to Smallville fans. It just wasn't my thing. Like, as Alan said earlier, Superman isn't really my digs either. I honestly prefer the Bats. I'm Team Batman over there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, we can do that later too, because there's so many things. Let's focus on what the matter at hand. The Batman. He is clearly being very brutal and loving it. He's branding people with his batarangs.
That's pretty cool. I think that's sweet.
That's what the article about the Batman is about. It's him. He's going to great lengths to show the criminals of Gotham that
it's stuff like that gives Batman the opportunity. He's actually, Batman was actually presented with a Sinestro Corps ring. It just shot out of the sky and went straight to Batman and said, "You have the ability to instill great fear, because that is his job in Gotham City." He's like, not only do I have to fight crime, I have to make these guys afraid of me and make sure these motherfuckers don't break the law again.
That's very true.
And he's literally given a Sinestro ring, and for a split second, he becomes a Sinestro Corps Batman, and it is epic. Like, yeah, that's it's kind of a prereq getting into the Blackest Night series, the Green Lantern Blackest Night series. So, yeah. But it's amazing. I mean, it's only for a second, because eventually he rejects it and throws it away. But yeah, it's really interesting to see that most of all is basically his reputation, is what it consists of, is fear. He's afraid of everything. But I think we should get to a top 3 list here. I think since we're talking about the Batman, we might as well go to the top 3 list. We have the top 3 Batmobiles. I have an interesting 3. I'll start this time. I don't think I started either list last time when we did the Star Wars. So,
no.
My number 3 for my top 3 Batmobiles is the Ford Futura Adam West and Burt Ward series Batmobile. I watched that shit as a kid. I loved it. It was definitely fun. As I said before, I really dug the Cesar Romero Joker, and all the other funny characters on that. And it wasn't really like a a dark version of Batman. It was very comedic, and it was cool to get into as a kid, and then eventually learn that Batman's quite dark, and it's fun to see the evolution. But yeah, that was the sleek design of it, especially, was my favorite part about it. And I've seen a couple of them in real life, and I've always wanted to drive one. That's my reason for number 3. 2, I'm gonna have to go with the Chris Nolan's Batman's the Tumbler. The Tumbler is an epic ass modernized Batmobile, and when they did that, I think that was honestly, aside from Michael Caine as Alfred and Heath Ledger as the Joker, I think that was the best thing that Chris Nolan did in the Batman series, the Batman trilogy he did, because just especially from going from the Tumbler to the Cycle, like in the Dark Knight, that was really epic, because it basically was like, you think I'm full, I think I'm done with my surprises, you got me pinned, you really don't have me pinned, because I'm a boss.
Rises, isn't it flying Rises?
That's just
that's just the Batwing, basically. Their version of the Batwing.
Yeah, it's not even the Tumbler. The Tumbler wasn't rebuilt.
No, he just rides the motorcycle if he's not in that Batwing, basically, in the Rises. Yeah.
That's why Catwoman has it later.
And for my number 1, I have to go with the Tim Burton's Batmobile. I really love the design.
Keaton.
The Michael Keaton Batmobile. Yep. Yeah, I'm both of them. I'm pretty sure were basically the same from 1 and 2. I think there might have been a couple differences in it, but they just the sleek. I go back to the sleek design of it. I really like that. It kind of reminded me somewhat of the Ford Futura, but just less red, obviously. And
it was a Chevy Caprice.
Yeah, was it? Okay, yeah. It was. I really enjoyed it, and it was very Tim Burton. I think that's probably why I enjoyed it. I've always enjoyed Tim Burton's work, and
pretty good.
And he represented himself very well in the first 2 Batman films.
He did.
So
those were the better ones. Those were the not Joe Schumacher. Those ones were still good Batman, but they were kind of a little too weird. They tried to be Tim Burton, but they weren't. They just
Bat nipples, dog.
Yeah, bat nipples.
Hashtag bat nipples. Every podcast we're going to hashtag at least one thing now, because so far, every podcast we have hashtag at least one thing. Hashtag bat nipples.
So, I don't know, I'll do this now.
Hit it, Al.
My number 3 is going to be Ben Affleck's.
Ooh.
The new one, huh?
Yeah, the new one.
Okay.
That thing's fucking dope.
It's gnarly. It is.
It is.
It looks like a fusion, between the Tumbler, Chris Nolan's Tumbler, and Tim Burton's Caprice, I believe is what you said.
Yes,
Caprice.
It is.
So
it's dope.
Yeah, it looks like they fusion hot or Patara earrings, however you wanna DBZ it.
It's kind of more. It's really similar to the Arkham Knight one, as far as I'm concerned.
And I saw it drive right in front of me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I was leaving a Skrillex show and picked that one up, and it just drove right down the road in front of me because it was in Detroit. They were filming in Detroit at the time. My number 2 is gonna be Adam West, the Ford. That car's
Ford Futura, yeah,
iconically dope.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that half of that show was just they spent a lot of time showing them driving it around too.
Yeah.
Like, they made it a lot about detective work, but at the same time they were like, you gotta check out our rad car now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when you were a kid especially, you're like, I want a Batmobile, man.
Not gonna lie, that one's not on my list, but it's not on my list because I don't like it. It's not on my list because I figured both of you were gonna choose it.
Hey,
it's a dope fucking
I kind of
car.
figured with these top lists we'd be pretty close on, hence is why we kind of started these podcasts, because we have similar appreciations for these type of topics, but
we're not gonna be in here like, you're fucking wrong, man.
Hey, sometimes it's good to have that type of debate in here. I welcome that. So, like I said, as we said before, comment below if we have any discrepancies, any false information, anything like that.
I still got my number 1.
You got your number 1. Let's see it.
Well, it's Michael Keaton's, man.
Yeah.
The Tim Burton, the Caprice.
Yeah.
That car is amazing. And then anytime you saw it, it was backed by Danny Elfman's music.
But you have to admit though, it was the only one that got hijacked.
It was the only one that got hijacked.
Well, not true. I'm sure the Ford Futura got hijacked at some point. I don't recall a time, but I'm sure there was some point in time in the Adam West Burt Ward series that happened.
But in the surprising fact, I really haven't seen Batman Returns a whole lot. I think I've seen it maybe twice. But I've seen Batman.
You haven't seen Batman
I don't have enough of
Returns?
Oh, Batman Returns is amazing, sir.
I mean,
Scott,
the Batmobile's defense mechanisms in that are way better than the first
they
one.
are? Because I love the suit of armor it gets and then drops the 2 grenades. And
yeah, that happens in the new one, except way, I mean, in the newer one, the sequel, except for way better, honestly. But it does eventually get hacked by the Penguin, and that's the movie that's where it gets hacked. So, I mean, I love it too. The design especially, I think, was very dark and very like a bat car.
Well,
I mean,
I will get to my list and we'll see if I share the same.
He probably has
taste.
a fucking Joel Schumacher one on there.
yeah,
Anyways,
I guarantee he did that because before this podcast, Alan said that he was going to kill anybody if he had either anything, if anybody had the Batmobile from Batman Forever or Batman and Robin.
Oh, come on. The blue one from Batman and Robin was dope.
And then he was just like,
Hence
but
it's
the
on
blue
his
one
list.
was cool.
That was me. I said that because it is kind of cool, but it is definitely no top Batmobile in my opinion.
Illuminated rims, dog.
And what was it, like ice blades?
I could drive on ice, homie.
Yeah. Freeze.
Oh, don't even get me started on Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Terrible.
He said, look at the numbers. They'll be the harbinger of your doom.
Hey, chill.
He chased the bad guy out the bed. It's up to you, Bats.
Adam and evil.
Anyways,
So what are your 3, man?
my number 3 is the Ben Affleck Batmobile, new Batmobile from Batman Superman. It's pretty dope.
It's
but
tits, man.
we already went over it, and
It gets fucked up right away though. You see Superman rip that bitch half open.
That's actually probably going to be their first fight and encounter, and I think Batman's
probably
gonna try and think that the Batmobile is going to help him, and obviously we see in the trailer it's not.
Yeah, he probably gets up when he rips him up when they face off right there. He probably looks at him. He's like,
That's my
"Well,
card, dog.
shit, that was my trump card. Smoke bomb."
Well, you see they have the bat. There's a bat in this one too.
Yeah.
There's the bat.
The Batwing, yeah.
The Batwing, the bat. Sorry, I went with Chris Nolan's word for it. The bat.
Fuck the bat.
But anyways, number 2
See
is
his
the
face?
Tumbler, Christian Bale.
Yep.
Don't ever call it the Bat. It's Batwing.
I know.
And by the way, the best Batwing ever, future top list, best Batwing ever, Michael Keaton's.
Oh yeah, shaped like the actual symbol, absolutely.
And then in the moon, the best.
Yeah, the moon scene. Oh yeah, I agree. It's definitely good. That's another list though.
Yeah, Christian Bale's Tumbler, as it was put, it's kind of a mixture of both you guys' lists for 2 and 3 anyways.
Wow.
Let's hear the Schumacher.
Your blue one, the best.
It's the blue one. Is the ice Batmobile?
We'll save
one.
that. We'll save that. Okay.
Oh my God.
No, that's not. I want to know this right now.
Anyways.
It's funny.
Okay. Well, my number 1 is Keaton's. Everybody's was Keaton.
That's funny.
Oh, now you're fucking with them.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, everybody was Keaton's. That's pretty good. So it is unanimous in this round table fellowship of the nerds that Michael Keaton's version, Tim Burton's version of the Batmobile that Michael Keaton drove, and I'm sure some stuntmen, is the best Batmobile in the existence of friggin' Batmobiles.
Hell
You know
yeah.
he
Just
actually
remember
owns
that.
that car.
Who was that?
Michael Keaton. He owns that car.
Does he?
Yeah, he bought it. He bought a copy of it.
I would too if I was in the phlegm.
I have a replica of it at home that my dad got me. And it's literally the whole. It has the chain guns that fold out of it. It's got the cockpit that slides
Isn't
open
there
and
a
everything.
dude up on Apple who has one too?
I don't think he owns it anymore, but he used to. He had a Ford Futura and he had the Tim Burton's Batmobile. He had both of them. He had the Ford Futura on display. And then he had Tim Burton's in a storage area behind his normal shop. But yeah, he used to show it off a lot. But yeah.
the General Lee. He also had the dirt bike from Vin Diesel's Triple X, the one that he jumps and then blows up the other guy as he's jumping.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Well, now I kind of want to get on the topic of Batfleck. Like in the subject of from when it was first announced that Ben Affleck was playing Batman to after these new trailers have been coming out. How do you think everybody's feeling now about Batfleck?
So much better.
Yeah. Like, well, this is the thing. When it first came out, I was actually okay with it, and I was one of the very few people. Like at first, my very first reaction, yes, I was like, really? You guys are picking Affleck for real, Daredevil? Well, like, he wasn't a great Daredevil. What do you think he's gonna be good at Batman for? And like,
that was their director in their story. That was their director in the story they had written for it. That wasn't him. He played a blind guy who can supposedly see pretty well.
I get it, and like that, and like it faded very fast for me. My rage for Batfleck, honestly, more than like really a lot faster than everybody else. Because I know people that are still pissed that Ben Affleck's playing Batman. After seeing the trailers, like it just keeps calming me down. Like I'm like, okay, this isn't gonna be an issue. Like he's gonna do really well. Like I knew from the get go that he would play a really good Bruce Wayne. But the Batman part was what I was worried about. Right. That's why my rage started at first.
I'm not going to lie. I really enjoyed the fact that they picked Ben Affleck because I liked him as Daredevil. And that really hurts to say because the movie was utter shit. But Ben Affleck was really good. He was just under poor direction. The only thing that killed that movie was everything behind the scenes. Because the actors you had in it were, alright, the actor you had was pretty good. Well, Michael Clarke Duncan,
honestly,
killed
for a Kingpin, he was really good. Yeah. Now this is the thing though. If you compare, I mean that was before Marvel Knights started working on the Marvel films. That's right before Marvel Knights came in and was like, okay, we're gonna make better Marvel movies.
Yeah.
You know, so that's compared to the Daredevil series that just came out. Like, there really isn't a comparison. Like, the guys that they have playing each role, I mean, it's just the new...
Vincent D'Onofrio as
the new Kingpin was amazing. He was on point as hell. Like, I just... Like, that, and that's what I say. Like, when I first saw that, when I first saw Daredevil, I was like, this isn't that bad of a movie, but I was still kind of unimpressed, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that great.
Right.
I'm like, it's alright. But it wasn't as epic as like this or that. You know what I mean? I was comparing it to other movies at that point.
So when I found out Ben Affleck was Batman and Bruce Wayne, I was actually happy because I figured somebody sees something, so let's go with it. All right.
Yeah, I think it was Kevin Smith who saw it.
I do too.
But
get a hand.
On the flip side of that, I took this as an opportunity to be a fucking troll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I trolled the shit out of this one right here. And I remember the first time he came over after that had been announced, and my first thing I asked was like, so when are they casting Matt Damon as Robin?
And that's the ongoing joke.
I told him, fuck you.
I don't think Matt Damon's gonna ever do that.
No.
It would be hilarious if he was Dick Grayson, but
yes.
Don't make him Robin, make him Nightwing. I think that'd be way better. Show just him with a mullet running around.
But I'm
then have them redo the Goodwill Hunting scene. Just
exactly.
Kevin Smith would be on the sidelines just jerking his dick like, yes.
But he'd be the toy man. I think Kevin Smith should be the toy man. I think he would be a really good toy man if they're gonna do toy man in the DC universe again.
Oh yeah,
he would be really good.
Actually, Kev really ought to think about getting into one of these movies. Like,
absolutely,
just be some kind of crazy ass fucking villain.
Toy man, dude. I'm telling you, Toy Man. Like I like he's not that great of a villain, but at the same time, he does sometimes, fuck with Superman, like, and he gets away with it sometimes. But obviously, Superman.
Yeah.
There's no stopping him except for green rocks.
Get dicks like Jesus.
Yeah. We have green leaves that gets passed around.
Anyways, I felt right off the bat that he was going to be pretty good. His Bruce Wayne, I thought would be fine. I was going to have a problem with the Batman, but then I realized that he's friends with Kevin Smith, so who else better to be friends with if you're going to be Batman, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody likes to think they're the top Bat fan, but who really is?
Fucking Kevin Smith.
Most likely.
I mean, he's got a whole show dedicated to Batman.
Exactly. Well, I think Kevin Smith would eventually push somebody over the threshold and was like, hey, you should really consider Affleck. Like,
Yeah.
You know. But it's cool. I mean, I think it's gonna be a million times better than his performance in Daredevil. I think Zack Snyder is gonna kill this fucking movie, and I mean kill in a good way.
He's definitely a darker Batman, as I said earlier.
Well, the whole theme is dark. Even Man of Steel was dark. Like, this is what threw me a loop for Man of Steel. They made Superman kill in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Superman doesn't kill. He doesn't do that, and it's really crazy that he actually was forced to kill Zod. Like, that blew me away. Like, that was the one thing that made Man of Steel good to me, a really good film to me. Because I was like, holy shit, he just killed him.
I know.
I was not expecting that. What the fuck?
You know they actually have Michael Shannon playing Doomsday? That's Michael Shannon. Like, they brought him in to do the motion capture.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's why his face kind of looks the same as Michael Shannon's. It's just now his flippers.
Now he looks like the Toxic Avenger on steroids version. With a little bone protrusion. Which, Doomsday, I have to say, I'm not very impressed with how he looks now. Given this could be a earlier stage version of how Doomsday looks, and he may get his awesome, sweet, bony protrusions later.
I think we'll see him grow as they fight him. I really do, at least a little bit.
Yeah,
here.
that would be cool.
Because but
I'm not digging the fact that it's either a creature made from Zod or Zod himself that has been mutated into Doomsday. I don't like that fact at all because he's not Kryptonian.
I know.
In the comics, he's not. They went this route with Smallville too. I don't know if you guys have seen the episode, but basically in Smallville, they made it so Zod and Zod's wife made a test tube Kryptonian baby, and it is Doomsday basically. And that's exactly like if you guys could see the face that Alan just made, like you might have made it yourself. You don't even know it.
Dude, I hate Superman, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and the way they did Doomsday was really, really terrible in my opinion. In Smallville, like they did some cool stuff in Smallville, but that was not one of them.
See, I could deal with them like using Zod's body to somehow bring Doomsday to life, like, but not actually mutate his body to make him Doomsday. I would be very upset with that.
How was the original? Was it some crazy fucking scientist is living on a planet and he has a baby? And he just keeps throwing the baby at some fucking wall, and then the baby dies. He clones the baby and throws the baby at the wall again.
Tortures it.
And so finally the baby stops dying when it hits the wall. And then he like does something else to it, and then once it stops dying to that, and then it's fine. And like, that's Doomsday. The fact that Lex
he's not Kryptonian in any sense, shape, or form.
The fact that Lex Luthor's like, I'm going to engineer the Zod body into... That's my problem. I have a problem with that version. The origin of Doomsday.
I like how they make Lex kind of the puppet master in that sense, but it goes too far with the whole Doomsday thing, in my opinion.
Also,
like that's the one thing I'm like, really, you guys got to tone it down with that. That's Hollywood just going a little too far, in my opinion.
I don't like who they picked for Lex. I don't like Jesse.
Really? I think he's gonna do amazing. That we are totally polar opposites on. When I saw him as Lex Luthor, I was like, really? This guy's gonna be Lex? This is gonna be good.
I don't know.
It does seem like it could be good because he can play a serious role. He really can. He's not just all comedy. Have you ever seen The Social Network?
Yeah, Social Network was pretty good.
I must admit, I've never seen that.
He's pretty. I mean, if you like a movie about Facebook,
yeah.
But
that's why I've never seen it.
Well, it's him as a serious role.
Yeah, exactly. I see where you're going with
American Ultra was a pretty solid film too.
Yeah,
I've seen bits of that. I haven't watched it all, but that looked pretty good.
It was dope.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty good. So I don't know. I think he's gonna do all right as Lex. I mean. Honestly, in my opinion, I really enjoyed Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor when he was in the Brandon Routh Superman Returns movie. I did not like Brandon Routh as Superman, even though I thought he was fucking Christopher Reeve incarnate. Like, he looks a lot like Christopher Reeve's, like, test tube clone baby. Like when he died, they genetically made a Brandon Routh, and they were like, all right, you're gonna play Superman eventually when you get older, so...
You want to hear some crazy...
Watch all these Supermans.
Don't get on any horses.
Yeah, exactly. Don't shoot yourself like the first one.
You're right.
Whoa! My apologies.
So...
but I'm sorry.
That
I'm not sorry.
The very first Superman... oh, God, I forget his name. Christopher Reeve's father.
George Reeves.
George Reeves. That was actually Kevin Smith's favorite Superman.
Is it?
Yeah, the drunken disorder.
Well, and there's a movie out where Ben Affleck actually plays George Reeves, so you actually get to see Ben Affleck in a Superman costume playing. I haven't seen the film yet, but I've seen a trailer for it, and it's quite interesting because it shows it's Ben Affleck playing George Reeves and going through his life. But it's funny to see that he plays Superman in this movie. He's in a movie as a star playing Superman, and now he's fighting Superman. So it kind of just goes full circle with it.
Wow.
That's I don't know what the title of the film is, but it looked pretty interesting.
But you want to hear something funny though? Check out or try to find Brandon Routh's drunken review of The Man of Steel.
Oh my God!
Oh, I haven't seen that. I'd be interested to see that.
He got hammered, went and watched Man of Steel, and then reviewed it.
Oh my God!
He did.
That sounds interesting. I gotta watch that. As soon as we're done here, I'm gonna check that out.
There's a part where he starts comparing Man of Steel to Superman Returns.
Oh,
and he's just like, "Wow, they did that right. Wow, they did that right. We fucking ruined ours. Like, what the."
Oh Jesus! I enjoy him as the Atom on Arrow. I thought that was cool that they brought him back, and it's speculated that they're going to bring Tom Welling back as young Superman in the DC series. So I think that'd be kind of cool too. That they're giving all these other actors that DC's casted before, and giving them their a fresh spot in the newer.
I want to know, where's Batman at in Arrow?
Well, I wonder that too, honestly.
Oliver and Bruce
are really good friends.
Yes.
Well, at the same time, Oliver and Hal Jordan are best friends. I don't know if you know this.
And we just got Hal Jordan's flight jacket.
No, you get a couple things like the Flash. You actually see it in the Flash. You don't really see it in Arrow. You see it more in the Flash, honestly. Which is kind of strange, but yeah, that.
Well,
and why hasn't there been a Green Arrow or Green Lantern show done?
They're working on one, I believe. I believe it's not due out till 2020 though. From what I hear on the internet, that's purely speculation at this point.
What I was.
If it ain't within the next 2 years, I don't give a
this
shit.
Season Arrow. This season Arrow where Oliver and Felicity were living. There was the bar he was at.
Hal Jordan. Yep. You saw Hal Jordan's jacket. Yep. Yeah. That and then the scenes at Ferris Air.
Yep. That's all the Flash. Him doing
the first episode, and then they do it again. But in the second time, they mention Hal Jordan. They say, "Hey, I thought this place was closed," and they said, "Yes, it is." It was all about a test pilot who went missing. So that's their little hey, Green Lantern, nudge nudge, which geeks me the fuck up because out of everything DC, Green Lantern is all me.
As for God's sake, so here, wedding ring.
Yeah, my wedding ring's a Green Lantern ring, so
I can
know what I'm talking about.
I'm representing what I am for DC Universe in my shirt.
The Batman shirt, absolutely.
Adam West Batman.
Yep. I have Aquaman's dick. I can't show you guys that.
Yeah, I really enjoy the fact that they're bringing
in the depths of the ocean.
I really enjoy the fact that they're bringing in Aquaman and Cyborg, and they've casted at least Barry Allen, not necessarily the Flash, but Barry Allen, I believe, has been casted. And we finally got a glimpse of Wonder Woman in full action, saving Batman's skin, which that was kind of funny. Batman's just like, I'm gonna hold my hands out. Like, you're not a Super Saiyan. You can't just hold a beam with your hands.
No,
I'm a little worried about the comedy from The Dark Knight. I noticed that scene where he's looking at Superman and he's like, is she with you?
I thought she was with you.
I thought she was with you. No, you don't do comedy with Batman. Bruce is cold and heartless. Like his parents were gunned down in front of him. There's no humor there. Humor was always going to be Dick Grayson.
They do play a little humor with Bruce throughout, like Batman the Animated Series and Justice League, especially Justice League because of the interactions with the other superheroes. But I agree, it was. Hopefully, that's the only little like exchange that they had that's comedic.
I think the most I've seen is like when he pulls the Green Lantern ring off of Hal, and Hal like powers down. He's like, "Hey, whoa, how'd you get that?" And he's like, "Oh, kind of, and he analyzes it." But then, he's like, "So what is your superpower?"
And that's Justice League Warrior.
Yeah. And he was like, "Don't tell me you're just some
very
guy
good animated film.
Don't tell me you're just some guy in a costume." And he just looks back and smiles.
See, I hate the way they portrayed Green Lantern in that. They kind of make him
whiny bitch.
After Ryan Reynolds, they've kind of made him seem kind of cocky, and like that's not him at all. Like that's the Guy Gardner Green Lantern. That's not Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan's a lady killer who's very noble and very strong-willed. Obviously, since they consider him the greatest Green Lantern. But that's one thing that I think Ryan Reynolds did wrong in that Green Lantern film. One of a long list that's no list we're gonna want to get into today.
No,
that's gonna be at least an hour-long rant from just me. So
that was a terrible movie.
But anyway, speaking of lists, we'll probably get to this last list and call it a podcast.
Casting the pods.
Yeah, exactly. This next top three is top three villains that you would like to see in the next Superman installment. Because as you can tell by this Dawn of Justice collaboration, it's a prerequisite to a Justice League movie. But eventually, like they do in the Marvel universe, eventually Superman's gonna get to something new where it's just a Superman film. I mean, it's bound to happen eventually. So
I'm waiting for the new Batman.
I'm sure it is because there's Batman, a solo Batman. They're already shooting solo Wonder Woman.
There's talks of a Batman
trilogy.
No, it's a Batman Deadshot collaboration movie where they have to work together. It's just something I've read on the internet. I'm not sure how legitimate it is, but I think that'd be really cool if they do something like that, where Will Smith and Ben Affleck will both be casted in it, and they have to work together towards a certain goal. Basically,
apparently Warner Brothers really loves Ben Affleck as Batman, and they want to sign him for a trilogy.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to. I mean, especially if this does really well. I think this will be really interesting.
I'm sure it will because it's going to have backstory for Jason Todd. I don't think very much. It's going to have the Joker here and there. It's going to be Batman and Superman fighting because of Lex Luthor. And
we might see a good Batgirl for a change.
And then here's the thing. There's actually that. People have been speculating. I can't remember the actual actress's name. I just said it earlier.
No, not that one.
But people have saying she's Carrie Kelly. She's actually Barbara Gordon, and she'll be Oracle. So she's already been Batgirl, but maybe we'll see that. Who knows? I mean, and I fully believe that Doomsday is going to be more like a second act type thing. I think there's going to be a third act that's going to surprise us all, and we'll see each and every single one of the Justice League. From Victor all the way to Hal and Barry, and you see Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, but Flash, Green Lantern, and Aquaman and Cyborg come in the end. That's what I'm thinking.
Bruce Campbell needs to be Zoom.
That would be cool.
Anyway, what's your top 3, man?
Oh, my
Superman
top 3.
villains.
Who do we want to see? Who are the 3 people you want to see in the next Superman installment? Solo Superman installment.
Yeah, man.
Bizarro is my number 3.
That'd be interesting. I would like to see them go into the Bizarro world, and so you can, because like they've expanded the Bizarro world in the new Lego Batman, or is it? It might be Lego. Yeah, I think it's Lego Batman.
Yeah.
There they go into the Bizarro world, and there's a entire Bizarro Justice League.
Yeah.
So it would be really interesting for them to pull from that and actually have Batman go into the Bizarro, or Superman go into the Bizarro world and fight the entire Bizarro Justice League. That would be really fucking cool, I think. So, I mean, I don't know if they'll do that, but it's Hollywood, you never know. They're willing to throw some random shit up their ass and poop it in front of your screen, so...
Butt chug!
Butt chug! Like a sweet ecstasy pill at an Excision concert.
Oh, shit.
Who's your number 2, man?
My number 2 was Brainiac.
Get out of my head.
Right. Right. We're all going to have similar lists again. I know it to be true.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
Brainiac, I agree. He's a very, very interesting character. And I mean, he's basically the DC's Galactus. I mean, he devours worlds, but not only does he devour worlds, he gains in knowledge from the entire planet before it's devoured, which is almost deadlier than Galactus because he's more of a tactician, and he makes multiple versions of himself to ensure that he's never dead. He's never gone, only stalled or delayed until the next attack. Mm-hmm. That's basically how Brainiac works. It's very genius. Very genius.
And your number 1?
And my number one is I want to see Superman square off against Darkseid.
Good God.
I think if they do that, it's going to be a full-on Justice League film, because to take on the entire planet Apocalypse, it would probably require the entire Justice League. I believe it's called Superman. I can't remember what the movie's called. It's an animated Superman film with Batman in it.
It's Apocalypse.
Is it called Apocalypse?
It's
Superman,
called
Batman, Apocalypse. Yeah. It was genius because it was the story about Kara, Supergirl, coming to Earth, but instead of being trained by Superman at first, she's taken and brainwashed by Darkseid. And so Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman have to go to Apocalypse to rescue Kara, basically. Yep. And the most brilliant part about it in that movie, the one person that gets the best of Darkseid is Batman. Yeah. Batman basically says these alien spores that could explode, he's rigged them all to blow, basically, to blow up his entire planet, his entire legacy. And Darkseid tries to punk him the fuck out, and it doesn't work. And eventually Darkseid gives up and gives him full passage back home with Supergirl. Like, that's the type of shit I would expect to see if they actually go with a Darkseid movie. Like, Darkseid will do a full frontal attack, like, kind of, I hate to compare it, but kind of Marvel, the first Avengers movie style, and he's going to get totally cock-blocked by the Justice League, and eventually it's going to get so epic that they battle on Apocalypse. So I think that's what they would end up doing with that. I don't think it'd be a solo one. But I agree with that wholeheartedly. Darkseid is probably one of the best Superman villains.
It was really hard to choose. I was thinking between a few of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to do your list?
Yeah, man. So my number 3 is, because I couldn't think of anything else except for my 1 and 2. So this is, I'll make one up and have Superman take on the entirety of the Sinestro Corps.
It'd be kind of hard to do without having a Green Lantern movie to set it up.
Right, but
it would be very interesting. I would love to see how they're doing the Infinity War. I would love to eventually see them do the Blackest Night in its entirety after doing so many Justice League and Superman films. Because eventually I'm sure they'll kill off Superman, bring him back, and all the other characters. So it's like, it would be really interesting to see Blackest Night, because it doesn't only affect the Green Lantern Corps, it affects every single DC character in the storyline, dead or alive. Like, at one point in time, the Flying Graysons come back as Black Lanterns and try to kill Dick Grayson and everybody in Gotham. Like it's honestly, in my personal opinion, it's the best storyline I've ever read in a DC comic.
And they're all zombies.
And props to Jeff Johns for that, man. He's the man.
And then my number 2 is Brainiac, because, yeah. And then my number 1 was Bizarro, just because I remember watching Super Friends as a kid. And I remember just how lame and ridiculous Bizarro was. And then when they actually would let him fight, how he would just wreck shit. And they were like, oh, God, the dummy actually knows what he's doing.
Well, it's kind of dumb luck when it comes to Bizarro. But yeah, I agree. I mean, there's a bit of tactician there.
Black Adam was another choice.
Yeah, Black Adam would be cool, but that's more of a Shazam villain than anybody. And like they're actually doing that. Shazam and Black Adam will be seen in the DC universe.
But so. I think there is a comic.
Isn't The Rock Black Adam?
Yeah, The Rock's Black Adam, but I'm pretty sure there's a comic book storyline where Superman and Black Adam square off.
There's actually a animated film, and it's Superman and Shazam, and they take on Black Adam together. It's a pretty cool animated film. I've seen it before. I honestly hope they don't do that with the Shazam storyline.
No,
because honestly, Shazam can take on Black Adam by himself.
Yeah.
I mean, but this was right when they kind of crunched in Shazam's origin, so it was right when he became Shazam and didn't understand his powers yet. So Black Adam was trying to strip it from him.
Is Shazam just one kid who gets imbued with the power, or is it a group of kids?
No, it's one kid. And I think there is a storyline where there's a group of kids.
Of like 7 kids.
7? Oh, wow.
7.
I didn't know that.
And they all can just go Shazam?
Well, no, they go to Shazam, but I believe they all form to one person.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's kind of like Firestorm, but with multiple people.
Yeah. No, I also it didn't make my list. It should have, but Cyborg Superman.
Cyborg Superman, Hank Henshaw.
Yep.
Yeah, Hank Henshaw would be interesting, but then you'd have to show a whole spoof of Fantastic Four storyline of Hank Henshaw and his 4 friends that go out to space.
Yeah.
But instead of getting superpowers, they get all mutated and fucked up and they die. It's a very grim time in DC when they did that storyline.
This is Hank Henshaw.
Right, he's like, oh, everybody's dead. Now I'm gonna jump to computers. My girl doesn't like me. She killed herself. It's very emo. Like
every Marvel fan was like, oh wow, Fantastic Four.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, they all fucking died.
I'm pretty sure if Kylo Ren read any DC comic, it'd be one of those. And we're presented by a pupper dudes. And that was your top of your list, right, Bizarro?
Yeah, man.
Right on. All right. Well,
What's your list, dog?
I will get to mine. My top 3. As far as villains for Superman, my number 3, I decided on Metallo. Because I think that would be an interesting. I don't know if they did that though. I don't know if they'd make him the primary villain. I think they would make him a secondary villain and then have an ultimate duel with somebody else eventually.
Right.
But I think it would be interesting to have his body end up fusing with a piece of kryptonite. So basically, anytime he opens up his chest, he sends kryptonite waves and it weakens Superman. So it would be an interesting fight to see him kind of, because in these battles you haven't really seen him lose his abilities. It's been all just, I'm beating the crap out of you, you're beating the crap out of me. There's never been him as a mortal fighting, and like I kind of want to see that. That needs to be apparent in a Superman film, especially when kryptonite's involved.
Well, he loses some of his powers in Man of Steel when he's on the World Engine.
Oh,
once he starts breathing Kryptonian air, then he's all like, I'm a bitch.
Yeah, and I'd like to see. I would also. This isn't on my list. I would also like to see the Lost City, the one that Brainiac shrunk.
Yeah.
And I believe I can't remember I believe it's called Endor actually. The Lost City of Endor. I think it is. Not to
Star Wars.
Yeah, not to mix the Star Wars. Kandor. Excuse me. It's Kandor. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
And it is.
Every Star Wars fan around the world just went,
Right. Every Star Wars fan was like, "Are you fucking serious?"
It's a shrunken city from Krypton.
Yep, that Brainiac took before Krypton exploded.
And it actually still has Kryptonians in it.
Yep, living Kryptonians. Yep, they're the last of them. But yeah, that would be interesting to see as well, and see Superman, because I believe he loses abilities when he's in there. He doesn't have any abilities. It slowly drains him because he has no sunlight. But yeah, anyways... for my number 2, it's very funny because once again we have been unanimous on a decision for number 2. Brainiac is on my number 2 for my list, which I believe was on both of yours.
Yes.
So here at the Nerds of the Round or Square Table, I guess I should say, our Fellowship of Nerds has unanimously voted Brainiac as ultimate number 2 for good ideas for villains for the next Superman installment. And my number 1, of course, is Darkseid, because Darkseid is honestly, aside from Doomsday, he is one of the best Superman villains.
Yeah.
As we both said, we're not really Superman enthusiasts, I guess we should say. But in that sense, if we're going for that, I think seeing them just duke it out would be really epic. Like, especially Darkseid, he's got way more wits to him. And I think he puts up more of a fight than Doomsday, honestly. Even though Doomsday almost fucking kills Clark, still, it's a lot bigger.
Doesn't he actually kill Clark?
No, not technically. Technically, it was a Kryptonian sleep coma or some shit like that. It was a healing coma that.
We killed our star. We need to retcon him back in.
Basically, it was a plot device saying, "Oh fuck, we probably shouldn't have did that. Let's bring him back. Yo." And that was the whole rise of the Superman. Honestly, the death of Superman was about the only thing I could get into, as far as
brain shit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, those are my top 3. I would like to see the Lost City of Kandor as well. I apologize for the earlier hiccup. We do smoke.
We're not sorry.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I apologize.
If you don't like the fact that we smoke. Fuck you.
But honestly, just seeing a new Superman installment would be kind of interesting, and I wonder if they're gonna go dark with it again, because everything that they've done with Superman thus far has been really dark.
Well,
the fact that Superman kills still throws me for a loop. Like
Zack Snyder's filming is always been dark. And even when he can't get it darker, he just washes the fucking color out in post.
Right, exactly.
Sparta!
We'll take it out in post, man. Don't worry about it.
Did Zack Snyder do 300?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, see? Wash the fucking color out. Everything is sepia.
Don't worry, we got it in post, man. Don't worry about it.
Wow, why does this movie look so weird? Oh, everything's in sepia?
But, honestly, as far as a whole, I think Batman versus Superman is going to be pretty epic. We're going to see some rivalries. We're going to see some friendships form.
We may even see some romance.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Somebody might get the super dick. You never know.
Wonder
Dangly pots.
But yeah, I don't know. We're expecting a lot though, especially for this setup for Justice League. I mean. Yeah. Marvel did such a brilliant job. It's going to be really hard to even get on the same level, let alone top them. So
I'm a little annoyed we don't get to see another Guardians movie until after next year.
Hey, that's a different subject for a different topic. We will get to the MCU later. That is one discussion we will be getting into.
Also, if you have any topics, suggestions, complaints, grievances, fuck you if you have any complaints and grievances. But if you have any topics or suggestions, go ahead and ship them our way. Leave them in the comment section down below.
Exactly. Comment us and tell us that we suck at our job, and you give us a question. I don't know. Do what you got to do. Start with an insult and then a question.
Tell us how often you fuck our moms, because that's what we love to hear.
If you're down with slutty fat women, I guess.
Right?
And on that note, we're going to end this podcast. As always, I am Shane.
I'm Al.
And I'm Randy.
And this is our Fellowship of the Nerds. We will see you guys soon with another podcast. And you guys have an enjoyable early 2016, as will we. Peace out.
Peace.
This has been an Upside Down production. The Geekly Gab and Nerdical Nonsense Show was recorded in the Green Room at the Command Center in Muskegon, Michigan. Thanks for tuning in.